process has already been accomplished.
That's correct. We did though, also get, multiple quotes as Bill noted in his report, and this was by far the lowest and only slightly more than it would have been to repair the pump. A repair that wasn't guaranteed, so it was definitely the best choice.
All right, so public comment. If you're a resident of the township or a taxpayer, you have 3 minutes to make your comments, and you state your name and address and go from there.
I'd like to start, please. My name is Donna Walker. I live at 4 Hunt Club Lane since December 2012. And I'm going to read, I have 2 pages that I would like to read. Concert Golf bought White Manor Country Club in December 2016. In October 2020, I was struck and injured by a golf ball from the adjacent White Manor while standing on my deck. Both my husband's and my car have been hit and damaged. Our house has been repeatedly damaged with a repair estimate of over $100,000. Our lawsuit continues against Concert White Manor and Jeffrey Price, who admitted under oath that he hit the golf ball that struck and injured me. Through an extensive examination of White Manor's records at Willistown Township, gathered from a series of right-to-know requests, we believe that Concert Golf White Manor has been operating illegally for 9 years as a for-profit entity when rural zoning clearly states private, non-profit country club. In August 2019, White Manor was acquired by the Blackstone Group in New York, one of the world's largest hedge funds. From 2016 to 2024, Concert White Manor's membership has soared. That massive increase in golf age under 40 membership partially explains the ongoing bombardment of White Manor golf balls onto our property. A careful inventory of the property in December 2023 counted almost 6,000 golf balls of 104 different varieties. I believe that by any common sense standard, the behavior of Concert Golf White Manor is gross negligence. I believe this would not have happened if Willistown Township had applied its zoning laws properly and equitably for the past 9 years. I believe the behavior of Willistown Township would also be considered gross negligence. I believe that Willistown Township should immediately enforce their zoning and building laws. I believe that White Manor should be closed until they comply with Willistown Township zoning laws. I believe that Willistown Township should appoint an independent investigator to find out how and why this was allowed to happen and why it continues.
Thank you.
Willistown Township.
Ma'am, your time is up. Thank you.
I would just like to say one last thing. I would request that you act promptly, like this was happening to you or someone in your family. We have notified all of you and we have gotten no response.
Ma'am, the first notification we received on this matter was last week.
Correct. And my life is at jeopardy.
Well, when you say we've gotten no response, when you raise a matter of legal import, we have to consult with the attorneys, and we are so doing.
And when will we receive a response?
Don't know the answer to that, but we'll try to get something to you as soon as possible. Obviously, the matter is in litigation. So we would be, you say you're in litigation on the matter, you said so.
Not about the zoning.
No, but the other issues are already in litigation.
So we're waiting for an answer from Willistown Township. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I would also like to request that this statement be permanently attached to the minutes of this meeting. And I'd like a copy of the video from this evening.
The video will be posted online.
Thank you.
Very good. Merry Christmas. Any other citizens' comments? No other citizens' comments? Ooh, then I'm gonna finish up with citizens' comments. Before we adjourn the meeting, I gotta say some things about some folks. I'm gonna start with Shanna. Shanna being our township director, I knew Shanna before when she was kind of the assistant to the assistant kind of thing. And she came back.
What's his name back there?
Yeah, Dave.
Sam left.
Oh,
So, Shanna, you are professional, you are intelligent, you are caring, and you're no nonsense. You stand up for what's right, you do the right thing, and you make our job much easier. I really appreciate it. I know these two folks appreciate it. The folks out there don't know, but Shannon and I share some music tastes together. Now Shannon's a lot younger than I am, so we Mary Chapin Carpenter, big fans, and then the record of the Edmund Fitzgerald, big fans. I mean, so we connect on a lot of levels, and I've appreciated you taking the helm. And I have nothing. I feel so good about leaving, knowing that we have everybody in place, and you need to be commended for the job you've done. Now, Steve Heim, Jeff and I go back to 1999. That was one of the first official things I got to do, was swearing him in. And back then we were like interviewing guys, Lou Bills, for example. He played softball, you any good? And so Jeff Heim, we played softball together for, I don't know, 10 years. And I weaseled my way on by being the pitcher. And so
Very
Jeff,
good at it.
Mark Monroe, Bills, George Hill, Zach Bullock, we had a great time. It was a good camaraderie feeling. Jeff Heim, I've never seen a guy hit a softball higher in my life.
Wow. That's a pop up though. Gotta say Farley.
It looks like Schwarber.
Yeah. But yeah, it's such a great time. It was a great way to bond between the supervisors and the police, and that was really sheriff's those moments. I know we reminisce a lot about it, Jeff. So I appreciate you coming right up the chain of command. Congratulations.
Thank you,
on that.
Appreciate your support over the years. So
You know,
it means a lot.
you've done a great job, and you should be commended.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The young lady to my right, Molly. So Molly and I get along. We're Republican and Democrat, and you never know. We get along. We don't agree on everything, but you know what? We get along as friends. And Andy mentioned it earlier. You know, the divisiveness between what's going on at the national level is just hard for me to take. Willistown can show people how to do it right. We have two Republicans. When Molly was up for re-election, you know, she was hesitant about becoming chairman. And I said, no, what we do in Willistown, whomever is running for chairman gets to be the chairman that year, or whoever's running for re-election gets to be the chairman. And so she did. And I can guarantee you there's not one other township in Chester County. And I know for a fact the county has never put the minority person in the position of being the chairman. And Bill and I said, no, that's the way we do it. That's the way we do it in Willistown. The country can learn a lot from our township because it doesn't matter R&D or I. You know, it matters the person has the right attitude and the right desire for Willistown. And Molly's shown that. And Molly, I'm going to miss you more than you know, because, you know, we had a nice relationship. When things got really tense here, we'd write little notes. You know, I'm just going to be honest. We'd write notes. And it got us through it because some of these meetings were pretty intense, I got to tell you.
those notes are not for the record and have not been.
Only the ones with Bill and I, no. But all kidding aside, Molly's professional. She looks out for the township, and what more can you ask? So this guy over here, Max. So I've had three solicitors. We had Vince Pompo, we had Bill Chrisman, and then Max came in just the last year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
So Max came in and he's like, oh my God, Bob's kind of like a loose cannon. You know, only I could get the township sued this year, and only I could get sued personally. because we stood up for what is right. And as long as you can stand up for what is right, you do the right thing. And so Max, I would ask him questions. He goes, well, yeah, no, maybe, he would give me some guidance about how to proceed. And I appreciate that, Max. You've had a quiet sense of humor, and I've appreciated that. And I appreciate, you coming in and taking over and keeping the township rolling.
Thank you, Bob.
Hi, Max. Not least is Bill Shoemaker. Bill's been my brother-in-law since 1981. So do the math, 19 plus 25, 30, 44 years. And I've known Bill before that because we went to Episcopal Academy, as well as Ted Leisinger. And at one point I joked around with Ted. I said, Ted, if you run for supervisor, we would have 3 EA alums up here, Bill, myself, and Ted. Ted never took the bait. But Bill is the most articulate, the most intelligent, the person with the ability to diffuse situations that get out of hand at the township level. He is calm when I'm just like fuming. He keeps it calm and he'll talk to people down. Like, he'd be a great cop talking people off the ledge. But Bill,
I talked you down a couple of times.
I am very emotional. If I'm right, I'm right. I'm not compromising. Bill, well, we're going to get sued, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, the hell sued. But anyway, Bill, and we did not vote all the time together. People misinterpret that. Oh, they vote together. No, we don't, as a matter of fact.
Well, we vote together on the checklist.
Well, but I mean, there was issues that we would differ, but be that as may. Bill, of all the supervisors, I see George McHugh back there. George, thank you for coming out. George. Those years were great years. I mean, there were no issues really. It ran smoothly, and it was a pleasure working with George. But to get back to Bill, I can't say enough things. He is without a doubt the best supervisor I've ever dealt with, because on so many levels, he can take a situation and get to the heart of it and talk to the people and make them feel like, oh, okay, he listened to me. He's just done an unbelievable job. If he doesn't step down in 2 years, he's going to break my record of being the longest township supervisor. Bill, in addition to being a supervisor, he's been on the planning commission for 30 years. Honest to God, how does the man do it? I mean, the planning commission gets pretty bad too. And people come in and you just, I give him so much credit for keeping the township going, and the fact that he's willing. And I said this before 2 other times, but the amount of abuse that this gentleman took 4 years ago and this young woman took 2 years ago was unheard of. And it was not called for. And those folks were gracious. They never retaliated. They never swore back. I mean, I would be going nuts. I would be absolutely going nuts the amount of abuse these folks took. And they were the epitome of professionalism. And I'm in awe of that, because I could not do that. So it's good I'm stepping down, because I got to tell you, as somebody said, I'm very competitive, and I'll talk to Matt in person about this, because, when Molly said, oh, we got this young kid running against you, Bob, he doesn't have a chance. And I'm like, let me hear about him. Oh, he's Matt McCary, he's assistant to the Speaker of the House in Harrisburg. I'm like, what? And he's young and he's energetic. And I met Matt. And I've told this story a bunch of times, but I got to tell it again. Matt comes up to me and goes, Bob, I've seen your movie twice. It's really good. And I'm like, how am I going to hate this guy? And so I'm like, I said, so when I stepped out of the primary, and I said, called Matt up, I said, Matt, you owe me dinner. And he goes, why? I said, I just stepped out. This election's for you to win. And I got to say, Matt McCary did the right way. And he's a Democrat. Oh my God. He's a Democrat, but you know what? The guy is sharp, and he won. He had the largest margin of victory in a township general election for supervisor. Think about that. That's pretty impressive for a young Democrat that has lived in a township a couple years, the personality that this gentleman exhibits and the knowledge that he's gonna bring to this board, I leave this board with like, he is gonna do great things and you are gonna be there. And I can't say enough positive things about the township, so it's with bittersweet feelings that I stepped down. I can't believe some of the folks that came out. Bonnie, thank you for coming out. I appreciate that. Bob Smiley, Ed Tiernan, Victor, Mike, you guys come to, and Diane, I asked you to come and you did. I'm so, Bill, thank you for bringing her. The videos that we're going to show real quick, I hope you stay and watch it because it's heartfelt. And I think Diane is the only one left from the 1996 video that we shot on our farm. So
She was a small child.
but if we could, well, wait, first we're going to adjourn and then we'll show these videos in a quick fashion. I encourage you to stick around. If you like the first video, I think you'll like the last. So for my last time, our next meeting, your next meeting will be January 5th, 2026, Willistown Township Building, 688 Sugartown Road. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you. All right.